Welcome to Pastor's Corner. Thank you for joining us today. I am Pastor Kelly Milne from the Bridgewater New Jerusalem Church, and my partner in crime, cohort, Reverend Dr. Donna from the Elmwood New Church here in East Bridgewater.
Right.
And if you are joining us again, thanks for coming back. And if not, I think this is episode 13 where we take all sorts of topics and put a little pastoral twist on them.
Mm-hmm.
Or as today, we are bringing a sequel.
Yeah.
Our last episode, our show, was on heaven and hell. And we are continuing that today. Between our theology and just some general thoughts on the afterlife. It's something that I would say we feel that, needs to be discussed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
People are interested in it, but a lot of times are just afraid to take that step and to talk about it. So
Right.
Hopefully we can demystify some of it today. I don't even remember what we talked about last time.
Nope.
It's only been a month, but it's been a month. So I know that, Donna, you have a great resource book. She's got the small version. I've got the big version from our own theology. But, and I don't think that I am biased, but it just kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
It's just these thoughts and ideas that we'll be talking about today, and to me just makes sense. So I think going back in my memory, we talked about the world of spirits.
Yes.
And I know we recently discussed that it's about that halfway point. It's where we enter.
Yes. It's where we go when we first die. And in our church, what happens was when the body can no longer sustain itself,
Mm-hmm.
it does what we call dying. Mm-hmm. But the spirit is still alive.
Very much.
And the spirit enters in when we're born and then leaves when we die, and it goes into the world of the spirits, which is very interesting because according to our theology, we are met by a lot of different angels and spirits when we get there. Mm-hmm. But unless we are like them, we won't even know that they're around us.
Right.
So the ones that are most like us in our ruling love, mm-hmm. and that's the ones that we recognize. They recognize us, and they invite us into their community forever, for eternity.
Which is a lot like here on earth.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are religious, you know the Lord's Prayer. Yeah. We say it, as it is in heaven on earth.
Mm-hmm.
And generally, when we find our group, our community, we are like-minded.
Mm-hmm.
And that continues on. Yeah. And I think that can be comforting.
Yeah.
But it also may cause us to evaluate mm-hmm. who we're with. Are we like them? Do we mm-hmm. want to continue this way?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we've got that community
right
in the afterlife as
right.
well.
And it's halfway. The world of the spirits is halfway mm-hmm. between heaven and hell. Mm-hmm. And all of us are spiritual and civil and moral people and spirits.
Mm-hmm.
And each one of us can enter into heaven or hell, again, depending on our ruling love and depending on how we have lived our life in this natural world. Because we can have fantastic thoughts, feelings, intentions, honorable, but if we don't act on them, it's like a sounding brass and no meaning.
Right.
So how we live in this life will determine whether we enter into a heavenly community or a hellish community.
Right. And maybe we should talk about that ruling love part a little bit. That ruling love doesn't change.
No.
No, we're kind of born with it, and it's what we love. Do you think about what you love? What makes you happy? What is that real deep, deep love for something?
Well, Jesus is asked at one point in the Bible, what is the greatest commandment? And he said the greatest commandment is to love God
Yep.
and love your neighbor.
That's right.
And so I think if we have that as our ruling love, that we love God and we love the neighbor, and that's how we act in this world, that there's no way we're going to hell. I mean, that's what he said out of his own mouth, that those are the first and only two greatest things. Love God and love your neighbor.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we do have the 10 Commandments here.
For a reason.
For a reason. They're not just, but when you were mentioning that spiritual, moral, and public part of our lives, and I kind of want to save that for the next part.
Okay.
But maybe we should talk about what those parts are, how they come together, how they work, how our moral and public life is part of our spiritual.
It can be.
Can be. Should it be?
It should be.
Yes.
But many people have a sense of spirituality that doesn't translate into how they act in the world. And there are a lot of people who live public lives and do a lot of civic duty, and they have a lot of morals, but they're not spiritual. And they missed the part about loving God.
Right.
They can love the neighbor, they can function in a lot of good intentioned and good ways, but unless there's that core of loving God, there's something missing.
There is. How do you get it back?
Oh, that's easy.
We have an answer.
Well, I think we did a session on Lent when we were talking about repent, reform, regenerate.
Yeah.
And the short version of all of that is to repent, we have to acknowledge that we're doing something wrong, and then we have to acknowledge that we want to stop doing that and move away from it. And then the reformation, the reforming, is
Right.
to then build a different way of being in the world,
Yep.
to change how we function, change how we believe, change what we feel and think, so that it's more positive, it's more loving, it's more in line with the 10 Commandments. And also then regeneration is what Jesus does for us. But we have to open ourselves to that. It can't happen without our permission. Sorry, just can't. Because he will never overpower us.
No. We have to be part of it.
Yeah, it's a co-conspiracy between Jesus and each one of us.
I like it. Did you have any other thoughts or concepts
Yeah,
that you wanted to? I know there are quite a few
there's
in this.
the
topic.
The big book is like this thick.
Yes, it
so
is.
We're trying to condense that down to a half an hour. But one of the things that we believe in is that there are angels and spirits, in that what our theology says is that angels and spirits are with us at all times.
Right.
We are just not aware of them, you know? And sometimes we can see a little glimmer, little glimpse.
Sure. Sure.
I was in what is called a hypnagogic state once, and I heard a male voice say my name. And I came wide awake, and I said, "Don't leave. Where'd you go?" Because I instinctively knew that that voice was not there.
Right.
But I also believe that I heard it.
Absolutely.
And if I had not come instantly awake and stayed in that more sleep-like state, I might have had a further conversation with this spirit or angel. So I've had some personal experience with the fact that there are angels and spirits. I know for a fact that when I was in my early youth, I did not get into a lot of trouble, even though I was doing things that were not good. And when I stopped doing all those things that weren't good, I got very aware of the fact, as I used to explain it, that I had an angel on my shoulder and a penny in my pocket that was taking care of me when I was being wild and, out of control. And I feel blessed that I was taken care of at that point in
Absolutely.
time. But I never knew it was angels and spirits. I just,
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I mean, I constantly, and certain periods in my life when, having a hard time or I need more of that divine intervention, and I am constantly seeing shadows. So many people see shadows out of the corner of their eye. Guess what? Guess what? And you turn and it's gone.
right,
You're not. We're not alone.
there's a presence.
There's a presence, and that what we call that veil between here and the afterlife is
Yeah.
so thin.
Yeah,
It's so thin.
yeah,
And we know that there are, different beliefs and whatnot, and mediums and all of that, but we all can experience it on our own and see that spiritual side. So,
yeah.
yeah, it's a lot to take in.
Yep.
This is a heavy topic. All right, give me another one.
Okay. Knowing that we are both all spiritual, civic, and moral,
Yes.
and that many of us can live in any of those three ways, but if we live in all three of them, if we are anchored in the spiritual and we live a civic and a moral life, then we get to be complete. And I think I jotted down here, the best way we can determine how to live our lives to get to heaven is to follow the 10 Commandments. Because at one point, Jesus says, these are the rules of life. And even though they're in the Old Testament,
Right.
he was constantly referring to the Old Testament.
Right.
Many of the things he said in his journey of 3 years, those people knew.
Right.
He was referring to Jewish books.
Absolutely. And that is the perfect ending spot for our break. And we'll be back in just a moment.
Jessica, we need to leave right now.
I need to get something. Dance recitals are so boring.
There's a meaning no one knows. Waiting to be set
So,
free.
what's the empty suitcase for?
The grand prize trophy.
Duh.
Confidence. Pass it on.
I was born to be somebody.
Welcome back. Thank you for joining us for our second discussion on heaven and hell. And we are just about to talk about the 10 Commandments and start relating these 10 Commandments to our spiritual, public, and moral aspects of our life, and how each of these does that. So they are split up
Yeah.
into 3, 4, 4. Is that right?
Three, 4, 3.
3, 4, 3.
It says the Ten Commandments contain all the laws of spiritual life, public life, and moral life.
All of it.
Yep. Everything you need to know. The first 3 of the commandments are to do with spiritual life. The next 4 are to do with public life. And the last 3 with moral life.
Okay. So we've got an inward and 2 outwards.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's look at those inwards.
Okay.
So go ahead.
Well, we've missed the very first words that from God to Moses is, I am the Lord your God. That should be before number 1.
Right. Because it goes right into thou shalt have no other gods before me.
Right.
Which we've learned that, and not making any graven image and not taking the name of the Lord in vain.
And I have something to say about number 3.
Please do.
And I usually try to put this into some part of a sermon at some point in time. And I look at the congregation and I'll say, how many of you know that you're praying? When you say, oh God, you're invoking his name.
Right.
And even more important, how many of you realize that you are praying when you say, God damn it? You are asking God to damn something.
Right.
Now, when I hit my thumb with a hammer and I say, God damn it, I don't realize I'm praying that God damn my thumb, but it is what it says here, okay? That you cannot take the Lord's name in vain. And so everybody laughs, and then immediately we all go back to doing the same thing.
We remember for that instant, for
Right.
that moment.
Right.
And I try to instill this into my Sunday school kids from early on, because they'll come in, oh my God, oh my God. And I'm like, wait a minute. And we just turn it around,
Yeah.
you know, and we turn it around into something funny. Oh my toe, oh my cow, oh my whatever.
Oh, my liver.
Whatever, anything, oh my something, but just not God.
Yeah.
And sometimes it sticks really well. But then they're
Yeah.
surrounded in their environment.
Absolutely. With all of the media out there,
Right.
it's very difficult for young kids to not be informed by what they hear from other kids or even television or whatever.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I think as parents, as grandparents, aunts, uncles, that we have a responsibility to this.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. And we also have to remember that Moses was a Jew living in a multicultural society, and other cultures had multiple gods or goddesses even.
absolutely.
And so this was like the first monotheistic religion who said there is only one God.
Right.
And it was hard for the other cultures to get their heads around that.
Right.
But he had to be very careful about number 2, because when Moses came off that mountain with those 10 commandments the first time, all of the Israelites had built a big, huge bull
Yes.
named Baal, and they were singing and dancing around it. And so he dashed those stones to the ground and broke them. The other thing is, a lot of people in churches, I don't know about temples or mosques, but in churches, will worship the building, which I call being a graven image.
Absolutely. Church is not the building.
No.
We have human attachment to a building that we have gone to for
Yes.
our whole life or for
Oh, sure.
30 years.
Right.
But
It's not.
try.
Thou shalt not make any graven image.
Exactly. Exactly. The church is not the building.
Right.
It's the people.
Right.
Moving on.
Yes.
We're moving on to public.
Yes.
So remembering the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
Right.
Self-explanatory.
And how many people do it?
Today, I don't know.
I don't either.
And how are they doing it? Because church membership, church attendance in the building has declined significantly.
Right.
All churches, everywhere.
Yep.
Virtual attendance has probably increased a bit,
Yep.
but churches are trying.
Yeah.
Your pastors, your priests, your
Rabbis.
whomever, rabbis,
Yep.
everyone is trying to bring the people because, again, let's go back to that community in the afterlife. We have that community here as well.
Yeah.
So,
And as a child who grew up with a television screen that was about this big in a, wooden box that was
Yes.
about this big, I am convinced that interpersonal relations really don't happen if you're staring at a screen.
they don't.
I mean, because we've all been raised on television, we think that the person on the other Zoom call is relating in a way that does not happen when you are face to face in person.
Correct. Correct. And there's a whole lot on that alone.
Yep.
And then honor thy father and mother.
Yeah, well, sometimes that's hard.
Again, that human part
Yeah.
is in there.
Right. But I think that there are people who struggle with it because they may have been ill-treated.
Sure.
There may have been some things going on in the family dynamic that nobody on the outside knows about. So when you get into studying the Ten Commandments and it says, honor your father and your mother, that your days may be long upon the land which the Lord has given you. Basically, we don't have to like them. We just have to honor them.
Exactly. Exactly. And in turn, that is honoring
Yeah,
God.
right. These are going to get self-explanatory.
These are pretty self-explanatory. Thou shalt not kill. Well, yeah, we want to be nice and
In
treat
any way.
people exactly.
Not just physically
No.
take somebody's body,
Exactly.
but thou shalt not kill somebody's spirit,
Absolutely.
and thou shalt not kill somebody's reputation.
It's all.
Yeah,
It's not just the physical.
right.
Thou shalt not commit adultery.
Absolutely,
There you
you've
go.
made a promise. Yep.
Thou shalt not steal.
It is self-explanatory, but you can also do stealing by stealing somebody's reputation
Sure.
or stealing somebody's good name.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's not just stealing money or a hot dog. It's a lot deeper than that.
It is a lot deeper. And
You have not bear false witness against your neighbor. When I was young and growing up, I didn't know what false witness was.
oh,
I mean, if you're going to
It's
Sunday school and
true.
you're 8 years old, I mean, false witness, what does that mean? It means lying.
yeah,
It's really simple.
right.
You shall not lie against your neighbor. In other words, if you say the person did something wrong and they didn't, that's bearing false witness.
Right, right. that these are our rules.
Yeah, these are the rules.
Yes. And then number 10, thou
Yeah.
shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. And there's this whole long
Yeah.
list, and it ends with, nor anything that is your neighbor's. In other
Right.
words,
Right.
we're all,
Especially in the Old Testament, it was always patriarchal. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife.
or maid, or
Or-
maidservant.
Right.
Right.
So I think we have come far
We have.
by
We
saying
have.
we shouldn't covet somebody else's husband.
Right. Or anything they have.
No, nothing.
We have all we need.
Mm-hmm.
If.
Yeah,
If we've got our spiritual, public, and moral in line.
yeah,
In line with Jesus, God, Allah, whatever your supreme spiritual being is.
the force of the universe in Star Wars.
May the 4th is coming. But yes, these are our basic rules.
Yeah, if you want to know how to live a heavenly life,
Here it is.
this is it.
Here it is.
And if you are good at it, you will find your life going well.
Absolutely. And I think that's part of what we're trying to do here, is just trying to get everybody to think about their life, their spirituality, their
Civic duty.
civic duty, your morals. You know, some people say that our world has gotten away from morals and
Oh,
and values.
yes, in a
and
very
some
large,
ways,
yes, in a very large way.
And so I would say take this opportunity to think about everything we have said. Look at our previous programs, look at our future programs. There could potentially be a part 3 to this. So
And
Just
don't
think.
forget, love God and love the neighbor,
absolutely.
whoever it is.
Doesn't matter who. So thank you for
Yes.
joining us today.
Yep,
I think we've had a lively discussion.
yes,
And look forward to being with you again.
and blessings.